Alright, what's up guys? Back to where we were. So, anyways, about what you expose yourself to. So, like I said, the school you chose, how that affects you, the career you choose, and then very important, the friends you choose. So, I think it's one of my best friends told me his grandmother always used to say this to him. She would say, uh, "Show me who his friends are, and I'll tell you who he is." So, the friends you choose, this kind of implies like who you are as a person, but also your friends do have an influence on you, whether you want to accept it or not, at some level. So definitely you want to be very aware of like the school you choose, the career you choose, the friends you choose. Very important. Okay, and then there's little things about what you expose yourself to and how that can actually help you get what you want in life. So, for example, this is like a pretty good cliche on like being fit. A lot of people like to achieve that goal on being fit. And just want to make sure this is recording. It is cool. So, anyways, being fit. So, there's two ways to go about it, and I have experiences with both. Mostly the second one, but the first one is freaking just exposing yourself to some type of plan. So whether it be like you order some tapes or MP3s online about the importance of health, And my cousin, she once was quitting smoking. I think she's done smoking cigarettes now, anyways. But she used to be addicted to it. She used to live in Italy. Goes back to what you expose yourself to. Italy is very smoking is very part of the culture. Her boyfriend smoked a lot too, so she picked up that habit. But she wanted to quit, so she bought a book. I think it's called Alan Carr's like Easy Way to Stop Smoking. Anyways, just buying the book itself is enough to help you go down that path, of course. So you buy the book, and it's then around your house. If I can pick it up and read it, and just reading the book, like the author has to be compelling, of course. And in the book, he compares cigarette smoking to like drinking bleach and other like weird stuff like that. I haven't wrote it, but he uses really good ways of reassociating cigarette smoking addiction with like poison. And so literally just the mere act of reading the book was enough to get her like repulsed by smoking. And yeah, she like totally quit cold turkey for like over a couple months, and then I think she started back up like slightly. Anyway, she's done now. But the important part is I mean, all she did is just take that little initial amount of action, and that can help lead you to some type of life that you want, whether it's a certain lifestyle habit or whatever. Second part is after she already quit, it doesn't mean that it's freaking done from there. Like, oh, okay, I fucking quit. I reassociated myself with it, or you just get a book on health on like, oh, why it's important to work out, and just enough of that person's thought processes is going into your head, and then it's mixing with your own habits and brain, and then of course your thoughts create, feelings, create actions, etc. So you want to first, if you can, affect the thoughts. There's another way you can do it. I have an experience with that, and this is what my cousin probably should have focused more on after she had already quit to like keep that habit off. And that is like kind of like the grind. Not many people want to do the grind because it takes effort and it's not comfortable. But that is another way to influence yourself. So for example, one time I injured myself like really badly, and I couldn't like do any of the exercising I was doing. And I was working out like a lot. I would run like almost every other day, and swim every other day. Like both of those, like every other day I would do that, and then the other days I would like lift, and like yeah, every day I would wake up with like push-ups and like squat jumps and flutter kicks. I was just very active. My body was used to that. I had built that habit, from years, but also I had like increased that habit to like a very strong point to where I just worked out a lot, and I was like very addicted to it. So did that, and after I injured myself, I remember I had that strong addiction of habit, I guess you could say, whether it's the physical chemicals of working out and getting out, or the sense of accomplishment, whatever it is. I had a very strong addiction to exercising, and after I injured myself bad, I couldn't really exercise at all. And it was like literally I felt like I had an itch that I couldn't scratch, and I was just like, and I remember being so like itching for working out that like all I wanted to do was just like do some type of physical, strenuous pain exercise, whatever you want to call it. Just I was doing like wall planks. I mean, sitting like air chairs, on the side of a wall, and just like after doing that for like 45 seconds, I could feel like it aggravating my injury. So I'm like, all right, I just need to accept it. So after a month of not working out, I was able to start getting back into it. But guess what? It was freaking hard. I didn't have the itch anymore because, I got rid of that habit, all the physical addiction and the chemicals, sense of accomplishment, whatever you want to call it, or whatever reason you want to explain it. It was freaking gone. So I had to like literally try to go to the gym, which is not normal for me. Normally I just work out a lot and it's easy. I liked working out, so I'd do it. So anyways, it's important to have the grind as well. All these things that you can influence yourself is very important. So that's one, what you expose yourself to, and then the second thing would be how you interpret what comes at you. So an example I have for that is when I was going to Santa Cruz my last year. I moved into a pretty chill house, like really actually legit, super close to campus. All my roommates were cool. I went from like having crazy like crackhead roommates, like literally at a place that I moved into. He later had like bums from the street like smoking crack on the couch. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I was there for a couple months and went from that craziness to like my previous place with a super creepy roommate, who was freaking gay and do weird stuff. Anyways, not getting into that. Nothing against gay people. It was just I had super abnormal places I was living at, and then I went from there to freaking super normal, seeming people. Just people that like were similar to me, like they like to mountain bike and surf and stuff like that, and they're just chill college kids like me, I guess you could say. So anyways, one of the roommates, and they're all friends with each other ahead of time. They had known each other from their hometown and from like 4 years of college together and whatnot. So anyways, I was the new guy putting out a good ad on Craigslist. They really wanted to have me for their roommate because I seemed like a perfect fit. And it was. We had a really good time at my year I spent there. But there was a point where it almost kind of got kind of weird. So one of the roommates, I guess he was like the kind of like the asshole of the group, in the house. I thought he was a chill guy, they talk shit on him, but he kind of was like the alpha too, personality. So, there was a point where he wanted me to pick him up from like school or like from the bus stop or something like that. But like for me to pick him up, it would have taken me like 20 minutes to do that because the way the bus routes work and there's like a walking path that's like a shortcut. Anyways, it would have taken me as much time for me to pick him up as it would for him to come home, And anyways, I was like, well, do you not have a coat? Are you cold? Or do you hurt yourself? Like you can't walk or something like that? He said no, and I was like, well, just being honest. I'm like, no, I don't see the reason in picking you up when it would take you the same amount of time to walk. So anyways, he was super butthurt about that. He was kind of being a dick. He was like talking shit to me with the other roommates and whatnot. And there was, back when I was in college, of course in school, everything seems so intense, like it all matters so much when it really doesn't matter that much. But anyways, that goes back to freaking what you're exposed to, your experiences, which a lot of people look at it as like your experiences shape who you are, but it's your experiences and how you respond, or how you interpret those experiences, how you respond, and then integrate the paradigms and habits. That shapes you more than anything. If you could take anything away from this video, that is the most important thing. So anyways, that situation happened. Boom. Freaking experience. And there's two things. One, I can just literally get into default mode and be afraid and whatever silliness I could get into. Or two, you could rise above that and really kind of like set an example. And this kind of comes down to your values. Some people might call it your spirit. Whatever you want to call it, this is like the stuff that really can develop you into the type of person that you're meant to be. So anyways, I was taking a class at the time, going back to the first thing, what you expose yourself to. I took a class called Personal Empowerment, and in the class, you have to really be in touch with yourself, be yourself, you have to journal, and you have to read the books, and it's a strong commitment to the class. And one of the books I read was called The Art and Practice of Loving. It was written by the instructor of the class, and there was only like 20 students in the class, so I want to make sure that I'm not going over time. All right, cool, I got about 5 minutes. So anyways, so did that. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So took that class, Art and Practice of Loving. Experience happened with a roommate, super butthurt about me, talking shit to me in the house and whatnot. And there's two ways to react to it. There could be the default reaction where you let fear take control, or there can be another action where you're an active participant in the outcome of it instead of a reactive participant. So basically, from reading that book, what I exposed myself to, I decided to approach the situation with a very caring, selfless, and loving attitude. And I took myself and feelings out of the equation. Ironically, it actually makes everything better for yourself in the end. But, it takes a little bit of courage and some faith. So anyways, I took myself out of the equation. I literally just focused on appreciating who he was as a person and focused on his positive qualities. And, if you're interested in that type of stuff, you could read the book. It's by Frank someone. Anyways, it's called The Art and Practice of Loving. You can probably find it off Amazon, or if you just Googled it. By Frank something. Anyways, so from that book, I approached that situation with no reaction and nothing but love. And of course, the way the world works, I made a video about this, I think. If I haven't, I will soon, about the law of reflection. What you express to the world, it comes back to you, generally. And sometimes people will express shit to you, and this is what goes back to influence. You don't have to express shit back. You can be aware of that, and then somehow you transmute that, and then you continue expressing love, and then that will eventually set the standard for the interaction, and then you'll have loving interactions. I'm still good friends with the guy, actually. Before I left for the military, we hung out in San Diego, had a really good time together, and anyways, so that's something that you need to be aware of to affect your life. And like I said, the most important thing, if you could take away from it, it's not the experiences that you live with or the experiences that are inflicted upon you. It's how you respond to these experiences, which develop the paradigms and habits that help carry you through life to be the person you're meant to be. I hope that makes sense. I think I hit every topic, just buying the tape, and whatnot, going through the grind. And then basically, like I said, the difference between healthy, helpful, and effective paradigms and habits, and unhealthy and unhelpful and ineffective. That's more important than anything. If you can influence that, you'd probably be set. And, I'm sure people in your life that believe that everything that happened to them affects who they are today. It's it's kind of true, but what's even more true is how you're developing habits and paradigms and experiences today, right now, that's going to affect who you are in the future. So there's a little picture of that. I said, bam, you're born with these two things. You're born into it. You can't affect that. But what you can affect, a little picture of the lever, is what you're exposed to. So that's planning, and then also the micro planning, for example, buying the book of not smoking, or interpreting and responding how you would like, and integrating the paradigms and habits to make you the best version of yourself. And that leads to manifestations of your liking. So hope this makes sense. It's a lot of information. Got any questions, feel free to send it to me. Counter video, I'd love to hear other points. This is what I believe. This is what's helped me enjoy a life where I have good relationships, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I've got all my needs met. So if you've got that going for you, you're probably living life pretty good. So anyways, hope you got something away from this. Thank you.